Yeah, so we're just out here having a bit of a look around at the track and making a few plans and trying to get a bit of a direction which way we're going to go, and yeah, just trying to map it out and see if we can get it going. And, oh, Zach, what's that?
What?
What's that? Over there. What's
I don't
that
know.
thing?
Never seen it before.
Quiet, sneaker. Yeah. I think it's safe. What the hell is that? It's not a tamiya. Can we keep him? Alright, enough mucking around. We want to get this done because I've got work to drink. So, this is not a tamiya, obviously. And we like playing with tamiyas. But this belongs to a friend of ours. We're just giving it a bit of a birthday for him. I think he said he bought it maybe 9 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. Very minimal research we've done on the car. Tells us it's a River Hobbies Blade.
VRX. River Hobbies VRX.
VRX Blade. There you go, River Hobbies VRX Blade. He's the researcher. We think it came out around 2014, maybe earlier. We don't know anything about these cars. The interesting thing is, though, they've been superseded by the Sword original, but we can get one brand new, ready to run. We're unclear if it comes with a radio, but it says ready to run, delivered to our door for $250. That's 250 Australian dollars. And we have driven this before, obviously, and it's really not a bad car to drive. It handles really nice. All oil-filled shocks, all adjustable, everything on it. For $250, if you want something to bash around the yard, I mean, that's the go. There's no tamiya. Right, let's get into it and just tell you what we're going to do with this thing. So I'm wearing gloves because I don't know where this car's been. Could catch anything from it, not being a tamiya. Can you tell that I like tamiyas? Right, so basically all we're going to do, we have replaced the motor for him. We did replace the motor for him earlier on. So that's a brand new motor, so we're keeping that. The ESC it came with the car when you bought it. I know it's dark, sorry. By the way, we're still working on our bench and lighting setup, so be patient still. It's just a no-name servo, and that is worn out the buggery. The ESC, it still works, but I can see a few burnt wires. And the radios, it would have been a good radio. Where's that transmitter there, Zach? It's a Fly Sky radio. It probably would have been a cheap one from back in the day, but Fly Sky GT2. FSGT2. There you go. And yeah, it kind of works. It gets a bit glitchy from time to time. So we're going to change the radio for him as well. We're going to put a Dumbo 4-channel unit in it. So we got to go around and rob a few parts off a couple of cars. We need an ESC. We need a receiver. We've got to find we're replacing the servo with a 25 kilo high torque servo. It is running ball bearings. That's another thing. $250, you get full ball bearings. But I don't know what size they are. We got a bunch of 1150s. So if they're 1150s in this car, we'll replace them for him. If not, we'll have to order some and do them later on. So while we're chasing our parts, we're going to send you guys back in time this way to a couple of days ago when we took this out for a bit of a run and actually did a speed test on it. It wasn't on dirt, it was on the tarmac. It was on our favourite speed run stretcher road. And while you're watching that, we'll go and get some parts and we'll see you back in the bench. Okay, so before we take this apart, we've come down to our new favourite speed run road, I guess. I'm just going to set a benchmark for this before we do any repairs and set a bit of a control so we can come out later on after everything's done and see if we've made any improvements. So we've got the speedo on it. Not expecting anything great out of it. Definitely no push. Alright, see what we got out of that. Ooh, heavy on the brake. What do we got?
Average and max 17.2.
17.2. Yeah, I reckon with a fresh battery that'll be a little bit better, but alright. That's our control, 17.2. See if we can make it any better. Alright, are you back? Good. Did you enjoy that? Even better. Alright, all I'm going to do is just rip all this electronics out. Right? I'm not going to bore you with that. We'll just do a fast forward. We might even skip to when it's all done. I don't know. But it's all basic stuff. Just your basic. It's actually a 3-channel receiver.
That isn't 4.
That's actually a 4-channel receiver. I was thinking old school with the battery port, but it could still be a battery port. Now we have our trusty Tamiya tool set. Never leave home without it, especially when you're doing speed run with a bloody Porsche. There's our receiver gone. Unplug the motor. That's all that done. Everything's just stuck down double-sided tape. Your ESC, pretty purple. Ooh, look at that. Purple and gold. But it doesn't work very well, doesn't it? Like I said, the minimal research we did do, we think this is a 50 amp speed controller. So we've gathered all our parts up, what we're going to use for him. We have our Dumbo IC. I think the we have a Dumbo receiver, high torque servo, and a Hobby Wing 1060. Right. So apparently that's 50 amp, that's 60 amp. Plus this is getting a bit long in the tooth. Set the new parts over here so I don't get them mixed up with the old one. Oh, let's pop this servo out. Little time bomb. Alright. That's pretty quick and painless. We have our high torque servo in there. It has taken a lot of the slop out of the steering, but there's still a lot. There's still a lot of slop in the steering because of this servo saver in there. You can see the spring in there. Yes, I took the gloves off. I think we wore the joke out. Plus, I really hate working with gloves on. I just drop everything, it's very slippery. So we're going to take this top plate off. We have to take the top plate off to, I believe, get the motor out. I said we're going to leave the motor in there, which we are. We're not replacing it, but we are replacing the pinion. It's got a 16 tooth pinion on it at the moment. I think the original one had an 18, maybe. But they got chewed out, and he actually replaced the spur gear once before, but the guy at the hobby shop sold him the wrong pitch spur gear, and it chewed out the pinion. So I gave him a 16 tooth pinion just to get him back on the road. But we have a 22 tooth pinion. So we've got to take the motor out, put the new pinion on. Besides that, this pinion is out of our sand scorcher kit, so I want to put that back in the spare parts book. So this top plate's coming off. I want to do something about this servo saver because all that play and the servo isn't barely moving. So we've got to do something about that. Right, moving on. Okay, so finished putting these screws in, but we couldn't do much with this, couldn't do anything with this servo saver. I didn't have any kind of shims to pack out the spring to make it a little bit stiffer, so I'm just going to run with it the way it is for now and maybe try and find a high torque servo saver for it later on. It'll be fine for now. Plus the actual steering linkages themselves have so much play in them, and we don't have any ball ends to replace them, so they're going to have to stay the same. So we're just going to leave the rest of the steering as it is for now. At least got a much better servo in it and no play. Actually, where's that old servo? You're not going to be able to see it. Oh, come on, work it out now. I'm actually moving that spline inside the housing. Probably a good millimetre of play in that spline, so that's not a good thing. This one is solid, so really cool. Right, pinion, 22 tooth pinion. I wish we had picked a 23, it would have been easier for me to say. 16 tooth out of the, that's actually a 15 tooth. Yeah, it's a 15. Oh, out of the sand scorcher. So that can go back in the spare parts box. Okay, so new pinion is in, motor is back in. Right, electronics. So, like we said, we're running with the Hobby Wing 1060 double-sided tape. Stick it on top there, and our receiver can go pretty much where the original one was. So speedo there, receiver there, switch slides onto the 1060. Servo's in, motor's in. We're going to throw this in there. Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't notice, new shirts! Yay! We're official now. Alright. Just at least we got a battery hooked up. Steering. There we go. Right, I think this is going to go right. Alright, let's get all these wires tidied up. We've got a battery on charge. This is half dead. So, probably next time you're going to see it, it'll be a few hours for us, but it'll be pretty well instantaneous for you guys. We should be out doing a run. One quick little birthday for an old RC. Not really an old RC, it's only about 10 years old. And look how much travel you get out of this suspension, me. I mean, Jesus Christ. Alright, $250. That's ridiculous. How can they do it that cheap? Okay. I'll stop waffling on. and we got to sit here and wait for a battery to charge. Okay, we're heading out to the road. The traffic's really busy today. I'm gonna have to be careful. We might even not get a run on this road. We're all together, we're all ready to go. Now, I forgot to mention the bearings. This is fully ball raced by the looks of it, but the wheel bearings are actually 1050s, not 1150s, and all we have are 1150s, so we couldn't replace the wheel bearings, so we'll have to order some of them and put them in later on. But everything else is ready to go. We got our little mini GPS on the front. It's turned on. It's reading. I don't know if you can hear it. The traffic on this road. We do get quiet spots, so we're just going to stand out the front here, and that's going to switch the camera around, and you might see us mucking around for a bit on the dirt and the grass until we can get a break in the traffic, and we'll take it out, give it a run, see if we can get better than the 17.2 that we got the other day. We should, because we should. Right. Cool. And the steering is reversed. Hitchhiker already. Yes. It's doesn't have the pickup that it did because of the bigger pinion. So we might have to go back down to an 18 tooth, maybe. I don't know. Going to take it up to the other driveway. Wait for a break in the traffic, I guess. What did we get, Zach?
Average and max 23.3.
23.3. I was expecting more than that. Alright, let's take it out the track and here it goes on the dirt. Right, so summary, how did we go? Well, I would call that a successful failure. Success, we did get a better top speed out of it. It is more powerful with the new ESC. It is more responsive with the new radio, the new servo. Can't complain. We've got to do something about this slop though, whether we do or not. Because it still drives pretty well. You would have seen the running video. Now this 22 tooth pinion, that's why we got a better speed, obviously, but it's lost a lot of its low end torque and pickup around the track. So and this motor as well, it's a no brand, no name, home brand motor. We don't know what it is. It was advertised as an 18 turn 550 motor, but it could be anything really. So we are going to replace the motor with the original motor that came with the car, which the one we found I think is a 15 turn.
Yeah.
So we're going to buy one of them, and also take the pinion down to an 18 tooth pinion. So that should give us our pickup around the track. It's not designed to be a speed run car. It's not designed for big top end speed. It's designed to be bashing around the yard and having fun with. Not to mention this motor got really hot just with that little run. I'm thinking just because of the bigger pinion and the big tyres, it just overworked everything. So we need a smaller pinion, better quality motor. Nothing wrong with the motor itself, I don't think, but better quality motor wouldn't hurt. So what did that cost us? Well, I think we paid, from memory, $15 for the motor. The pinions I think are around $8, $10, something like that. $50 for an ESC. This is all Australian currency, by the way. $50 for the Hobby Wing 1060. I think these servos here, I think we can pick them up for $20 to $25 each. Probably less than $1 a kilo. That's not too bad. Dumbo RC, you can pick them up for 40 or 50 bucks for the complete set for the transmitter and receiver. Fairly cheap. So what's that? There's 100 bucks. There's 120 bucks. 140. Say $150, and we got it back up and running. Better electronics, more modern electronics, and got it running a little bit faster. But the most important part, our good old mate Brendan can have his car back and go running around and we having fun with it again like he does. So, if you enjoyed the video, there wasn't much in it really, but if you wouldn't mind liking, say the word, Zach.
Subscribing.
Give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down, we don't care. It all helps the algorithm anyway, apparently. So we are a very young channel. We're trying to produce more content, and we got a lot more coming. This was just a little one-off project, obviously not a Tamiya. Obviously we love our Tamiyas and we're trying to build a big Tamiya collection, but this is just a little one-off because a mate of mine, he didn't ask for it to be fixed, so I offered. So there you go, another little video for you. So hope you liked it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye. Just a quick shout out to Phil from Poor Boys RC. I've had the bloody speedrun challenge song stuck in my head this whole time, all morning. So thank you very much for that. I'm not complaining. It's a good song. Once a week. But when it's stuck in your head and you're trying to work on a car. Thanks, Phil.